go. Prancer and Vixen. Come on, y'all gotta say it with me. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a really tiny nose. Rest in peace, DMX, man. You would even say it glows. No Rudolph playing any reindeer games. Such a New York version of that. Straight. DMX version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer would always be amazing. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody says. It's the most amazing version. How was everybody Saturday? And I'll fix the thing so you guys can chat with me. Thank you for leaving a like. I also forgot to go into the advanced settings and monetize this. It's kind of dangerous to be live stream and chat. It is, but I only look at the chat when I'm stopped at a red light or a stop sign. Once I start driving, I don't look at the camera at all. I use it to help myself to continuously talk, like especially if I'm playing a game and I'm doing something, like let's say if I was doing Wind Waker and, you know, sailing, which can sometimes be a bit boring, I know how to keep audience retention by speaking. So for instance, right now I'm at a red light, which is great because you guys can see the reflection from my glasses. But thank you for caring about me outside. I really do care about that. I really do value that. So anybody else would have been like, yo, look at the chat, look at the chat. No, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. But I'll never be like driving and like, oh my God, what did you guys say? Nah, I'll only look at the chat whenever I'm stopped. Rudolph with you. I have a crazy like yearning to want to keep Final Fantasy VII to myself, and I haven't felt that since Baldur's Gate. And I think if I give myself the leeway like I do with Baldur's Gate, like I'll just do side mission stuff so we could only focus on, you know, the main mission things. I feel like if I do that with Final Fantasy VII, I'll probably end up beating the game. I was rewatching the last stream we did, and yeah, I could see why a lot of people really like Final Fantasy VII. And I can see why I also like it as well. It's Nomura. Nomura's writing has... Remember, I never played Final Fantasy first. My first introduction to Nomura was Kingdom Hearts. And there's a lot of that DNA within 7. Now, granted, 7 came way before Kingdom Hearts, but it's how I got introduced to it. I had asked you guys to drop down some topics to see what you guys wanted to talk about while we drive. So far, the only person to answer was DPG over on Instagram. Sorry, I'm burping. He said, can you talk about how there's a rampant case of high school teachers sleeping with their students, and where were those teachers when we were in school? I had responded, I'm like, it took me 5 years to graduate high school, not because I'm stupid, but mostly because I'm lazy. If something's too easy for me, I get completely disinterested in it. So if I have a teacher that, we're gonna talk about that topic, but I gotta give you a little back thing. In the early 2000s when I was in school, right? I was an ESL student, ESL being English second language. In the early 2000s, it wasn't like how it is now. ESL is kind of like a power, right? Because you basically know you're learning a second language, as opposed to like as opposed to how it was in the early 2000s, where they kind of try to whitewash any like identity of having like a different culture aside from like just being American and speaking English. So that being said, my test scores and my academics was honors level, but I couldn't pass the ESL test, which is basically just, it's a very easy test now looking back at it, where it kind of questions like your understanding of the English language. This is why I was in ESL. I can't even fucking speak the language. But we're talking about like a test where it's like, what does this version of there means? And like I said, in hindsight, it seems easy, but it didn't take until I was like in my mid-20s to understand why I was in ESL. And it's mostly because, hold on, I gotta turn on the heat. Today was surprisingly freaking warm for it to be December 1st. Turn down the temperature. 60s fine. So the reason why it was so hard for me is because my mom has 3 kids. It's me, Kenny, Lola. So my mom raised me Spanglish, meaning she spoke to me in both English and Spanish, but mixed together in the same sentence. So it'd be like, Gary, ve limpiame tu cuarto. That's Spanish, right? She would say, Gary, ve limpiame your room, which is go clean your room, right? So she always spoke to me in that Spanglish kind of way, this kind of New York Spanglish kind of thing, right? Kenny, she raised him straight English, to the point where he's straight English. Kenny can understand a lot of Spanish, but he's a Yo Sabo. That's what we call a Yo Sabo. Kind of like a leaf or something. Trying to like speed up so it can just like flap off, but it just won't flap off. It's like a bag or something. Get off unless I hit like a little speed bump. So I'm sorry if the noise is annoying. But Kenny's basically Yo Sabo. Lola was raised more quote unquote hick, way more Spanish than anything. She speaks more Spanish than any of us. If I do like a turn, it kind of like gets off of it. I do a turn. I'm on a highway for 20. I heard a rumor where they're like trying to make you stop your car by putting stuff like in the fender between where your wheel is. The speaker's supposed to get off. It's almost off. Pull over and then there's somebody following you and then they pull a Grand Theft Auto. Back to the story. So ESL. So yes. So my academics were honors level. Like when I finally switched out of elementary to middle school, they put me in honors class, not knowing that I didn't pass my ESL, and then 8th grade they put me back in ESL. But all to say is, I was an honors level student, but stuck in ESL, which meant this was like people that just got to like the country, that didn't really know English, that excelled a lot in math, but when it came to like English, social studies, and stuff like that, they didn't do well, so to say. So with that being said, your boy, damn, where's the story going? Okay, so it took me 5 years to graduate high school. Usually it's supposed to be 4, but I also moved around from a lot of different high schools. So in my sophomore year, I was in DeWitt Clinton. Remember, there's a story as to why teachers are having, relations with students more now than when, we were kids. That was what DPG has. So when I was in Clinton, there's the same high school that Stanley went to, that Bob Kane went to, in the Bronx, back when it was an all-boys school. Now it's like one of the top 3 ghetto schools. It's Clinton, Walton, and Kennedy. I'm a legacy at Clinton. My uncle went there. My mother went to Kennedy. So, okay, this is the thing. There was a school leader who was in a relationship with one of the teachers. History teacher, American history teacher. But this school aide is, think of a security guard, but not a security guard, not a teacher, but has the authority of a teacher. Is weird. He was in a relationship with this teacher, but his sexual presence, his presence, is it presence? I can't find the word. His presence. It's not presence. Well, the thing is, he was weird. Okay, he was weird. He was what they call a cuckold. If that makes any sense. But his taste was the students with the teacher. Not that he would watch, but he would want the teacher to. It's man weird. It's weird. Y'all get what I'm saying. But there was a caveat. Caveat 1, she had to be in. Caveat 2, you had to have had the same class with her. And then caveat B, he had to approve. Right? I fit that criteria. So throughout that semester, it was like me and maybe like 4 other students in 4 different periods that just, said teacher. Now, that was in Clinton. Later on, I would try to cheat the system to graduate on my 5th year. Long story short again. Sorry, I know I keep rambling. Long story short again. In New York, you need 44 credits to graduate. In Yonkers, you need 22. So, if I transferred over to Yonkers, I would already have more than enough to graduate, was the idea. I did, but I needed certain electives, not electives. I needed certain core classes in order to graduate. So I needed to go into credit recovery. Think of that as remedial classes. But again, remember, I'm an honor level student. I just was never engaged enough to, want to, engage with school. Like, if it's not hard enough, I don't bother. If it's too easy, I don't bother. I don't bother. I can't fucking. This is why I was in ESL. I don't bother if the schoolwork is too easy. I need to be challenged. If not, there's no point. So I was in remedial English. This English teacher in this credit recovery program was 22 years old, Italian, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And she can already see that I was kind of like ahead, because I mean, some of the questions they were asking in that remedial class, that credit recovery class, was like, we was doing Robert Frost. This is supposed to be senior year, right? We're doing Robert Frost, and like the questions are is like, what is irony, or what is a simile, what is the core theme of this, you know, passage or whatever. Easy shit. That was, listen, there's a lot of stupid people in Yonkers, I'm not gonna lie to you. If there's anywhere in New York that is failing educate, is Yonkers. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's Yonkers. So I kind of made her job easy, because a lot of people didn't want to engage in class, and it's like, you know, she also has like her supervisor coming in once in a while to see if she's good enough to be, you know, full-on teacher, not just, you know, what it's essentially like an after-school class. So once she's finished the whole supervisor thing, you know, she would always call on me whenever nobody wanted to engage in class. So if it was a stupid question like, can you give an example of a simile, right? And nobody wants to answer, Gary, and then, you know, I'd answer. I remember the class being so easy that it was around, I believe, Christmas time. This is a senior class, and she handed out what was essentially a paper, candy cane, and then within the candy cane was like 5 lines, and it was like, write what you're grateful for or whatever for the holidays. And I'm like, bro, like, homeboy back then is like 23 years old, still in high school, and we're doing this? Like, fine, whatever. I remember having written that. There was a time where I wasn't driving. I had to take a bus back from Yonkers all the way to the Bronx. And it wasn't so much that I was complimenting her, but it was like, I guess she appreciated the attention I had given her that she wasn't receiving from like a full class of students. That just one day, like, here's the thing. She had a fiance. Way older than her. I will say this is what started me down the path of wanting to make women cheat on their boyfriends with me. She was the first. That's the story of that. That's the story of that. What are we doing, man? Why are we doing 44 in the 55? Make it make sense. I know if I do the side mission stuff, I'm going to love it. I kind of tune into Wicked's playthroughs from time to time, not to get spoiled, but just the combat. And I know if I play it, I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna stream it. I'm gonna keep that shit to myself. Did you guys peep the Fortnite, what is it, season 5 trailer? I'm not gonna lie. That shit made me text the group chat like, yo, we back on Fortnite? On Fortnite? Are we back on Fortnite? Got your boy Metal Gear Solid. I don't know, it's not Solid Snake. I think it's Big Boss, if I'm not mistaken. They got your boy Peter Griffin. And I saw a little mini breakdown of somebody breaking down. They said that one of the graffitis on the wall from the trailer was the Ninja Turtles. So, I mean, here's the thing. If we do Fortnite on the channel, I would like to play with you guys. I miss playing with you guys. When we were doing Gotham Knights, I know that Suicide Squad is coming out. I know you guys are going to be on Suicide Squad. So I know I'm going to be able to, you know, swap you guys out and we can play together. But until then, I miss playing with you guys. I really do. This is also the hiatus is coming up. I'm working on, I also put in that time for this Thursday. I got to hear back from my boss to see if he'll give me the time so we can stream the Video Game Awards. I know that's something you guys have been asking me about a lot. So I'll get the answer on Monday or Tuesday. I spoke to Simba yesterday. I was like, yo, the Video Games Awards is Thursday. He's like, word, I didn't even know. I was like, oh, yes. So if I can't get the time off, I'm making sure either him or Simba are going to be streaming it, so you guys have somewhere to go Tuesday, supposedly GTA 6 is dropping a trailer. My thumbnail editor is he's a straight contrarian. Joey, straight contrarian, he doesn't believe things he's start put out. It's like Tuesday, trailer, whatever. He texts in the group chat, he's like, that's it, that's all y'all getting is that picture with probably some 80s like synth music, and then maybe a window release date. Like he's very like, so we'll see. So we might do a react, depends on when they drop it. If they drop it before I go to work, then we'll do a little live reaction of it. Kind of like how we do with the direct and stuff. Beta of Rebirth. You guys know I don't play betas. Ever since Multiverses, I don't play betas. I stay away from betas. I heard there was a closed alpha for Suicide Squad and somebody broke NDA and Rocksteady came after them with all the might and fights. All the might and fight. Because they fucked up horribly. It's a huge spoiler thing. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but they fucked up real bad by breaking that NDA. Me, y'all know I don't give a fuck. Once that game comes out and I have it in my hands, I don't care whether I get it early or not. But if you sign up for an alpha, that's the thing. When you sign up for a beta and an alpha, you legally sign off on the NDA. When you buy a game and you just so happen to get it early, you didn't sign for shit. You bought that. People like to, you guys have seen it when we do early release. People like to come in and be like, oh, but you broke street date. Consumers don't break street date. Street date is between the distributor and the retail. That's between them. If a grandmother comes in and says, can I get the new Batman game? And they go ahead and give them, the new Batman game, that grandmother doesn't get charged with anything. She didn't break street date. If you've ever worked retail, like when I worked GameStop, right? And we would do a midnight release. And remember, once I stopped working at GameStop, when I quit, it was around the time where midnight releases were happening at like 9 at night. And when they would have those midnight releases like that, where it was like 9 instead of actual midnight, we had to, every time we would manually, scan a game and give it to the person, we would have to put in our employee number followed by our initials. I remember they never found out that my middle name was Anthony, so it was just GUD. It was good. But yeah, when you sign up for these alphas and betas, you need to read the contract. You need to read those contracts. When I tell you they own, like, I think he's still, they nuked his channel when he really, because it was a huge spoiler. I'm not going to say it here, but it was a huge spoiler. If you're a Kevin, what's his name? Kevin Conroy? If you're a huge Arkham, like Batman, stay away. But it was crazy. You know what else I kind of wanted to talk about was content creators. I know we spoke a little bit about it in where he's doing Spider-Man. I kind of want to, because I see more and more. Here's a bad thing. I rejoined Twitter at a horrible time when it became monetized. So my reach doesn't go nowhere unless you pay the $8, which I would never do. TikTok is kind of getting that way too, where they're keeping me around the 400, 600 view point because they're trying to see if they keep suppressing my videos. I would pay to, get engagement. I'm not going to do that because it's like, you just got to hold steady. When it comes to TikTok, you need to hold steady and you need to re-upload. Like my Super Sucker 2.0 video, that has been one of the most funniest videos me and Crystal have ever done. We were at Spencer's, went to the the back of the store section, and I'm like, oh, I want a Super Sucker 2.0. She pulled out her phone. This is back when we was both using Snapchat. She was like, what do you want? I was like, I want the Super Sucker 2.0. And then it was just a perfect moment caught, because then the worker comes, she's like, do you guys need help with anything? Clearly, getting, how do you call it when you go to a store and they just follow you because you have a little bit of melanin in your skin? But the worker comes over and she's like, can I help you with anything? I'm like, no, what you looking at? Super Sucker 2.0. And then the video ends there. It's so comedic, so perfect. And I know that shit is hilarious. But they're suppressing it because they want to see if I will pay to get it pushed out in the algorithm, which I won't. Every time I do a New York City No Lie, I get thousands of views. I'm not going to do that. Why is this Honda Civic speeding? It is 45 speed limit. For why, my guy? You must have to take a shit. That's the only reason you be speeding like this. So content creators. Really wanted to speak of this, content creators. Y'all need to read these contracts. When the SAG strike was happening and they couldn't get nobody to push their, mediocre TV shows or movies or video games, they came to social media and they started getting influencers. I know this because 2 talent companies tried to come to me. One of which just wants to they want my hood early release. They want that idea. They don't believe that I can make it as a content creator. They want to buy out my idea so they can give it to a bigger creator that is running out of ideas, that they've invested way too much money and clout. The other one, here's the thing. This is what opened my eyes, because if you guys have been watching my streams, you've seen that I've kind of strayed away from playing games that just release to just playing whatever the fuck I want to play. One, I feel like I have earned that with you guys, where you guys just want to hang out with me regardless of what I play, and I am grateful for that, because that's one of the hardest things you could do when you become a variety streamer like I have. I've said this story probably 1,000 times. I didn't want to stream. My idea was always to make videos, edit them between 12 to 20 minutes. That was my idea when I started. You can go back to the beginning of the videos, you can see that. The reason why I started streaming was because hood early release didn't work that way. When I came up with that idea to stream games early, it can only be live. You get what I'm saying? Because live forces the algorithm to push you out there. If I recorded a hood early release and then released a video, even if that video is 5 days before the game comes out, if it's not a review, it will get suppressed. I know, I tried it with Elden Ring. I got Elden Ring 7 days early. I released a first impression video of Elden Ring. It did not do well. Hell, the live stream didn't do well because I hadn't set a good foundation. And even then, even to this day, that's the reason why I haven't done one yet. I say it with Atomic Heart, we broke the internet. With Sonic, which I'll probably never do another Sonic. Well, I'm going to do one. I have a little surprise for you guys for the wrap-up stream. But I'll never do another Sonic game because that community is so fucking toxic. Let's see, 160. But I keep doing these things where I'm breaking the internet, not going viral, but I'm breaking the algorithm. I'm getting these crazy amount of views, but I'm not getting people to subscribe or to follow. Like on TikTok, I have the Atomic Heart video that did 138,000 views. I also have, one of my biggest things here. I can easily make thousands of views. I need to work on making people want to stay and hang out when it's not me doing stuff like hood early release. So in order for me to do that, I had to take a step back. As much as I wanted to do Spider-Man 2 early, as much as I wanted to do Mario RPG, Sonic Superstars, I got Sonic Superstars 12 days early. It would have did done great, but I said I would never do another Sonic game because y'all saw how Sonic Frontiers went. It was great. We had a great following, but that fucking community when it comes to Sonic 3D Sonic games, Jesus Christ, I would never do that shit ever again. Let's see. I needed to set a good foundation. I needed to get better at streaming because here's the thing. For streaming, there's a culture. It's not like making a video. When I make a video, I can make myself instant transmission. I can go ahead, drop confetti in front of the screen when I do something amazing. I can, lower my game volume and make my voice pop out a bit more. But when it comes to streaming, there's a culture. There's, do's and don'ts. There's a way to engage with your audience that you can't really do when you record a video. I needed to get that down pat. So the next time we break the internet, when we go ahead and we do another, 138,000 view video stream, people hit that subscribe button. And then it will be, I know that it's I can see it. I can see it happen. That's why I don't really stress about, subscribe, because I know once I get that, I have down packed and I set a good foundation. So much so, what makes me know this has nothing to do with the analytics, has nothing to do with me being monetized and getting paid by YouTube. It has to do with I can pick any fucking game that I just want to play, make a little twist to make it, engaging and fun for you guys, and y'all will still tune in. It's you guys. That's what a lot of people don't understand. That when you live stream, you're doing this for an audience. I've seen people play games, like stream games, and say nothing. And then they're like, oh shit. Like, where in reality, if you're streaming, what you should be doing is, let's say you get to a difficult part, like when we're doing Lies of P. Where you do Lies of P, if I'm stuck in a part where I have to memorize a pattern, an enemy's pattern, in order to progress in the game, I tell chat, listen, I know I'm not talking, give me a second, let me get this down pat. And this is why Mr. Anonymous and Wicked are by far one of the most amazing moderators. It has nothing to do with the fact that they tune in all the time without missing a stream, and when they do, I feel their absence, don't get me wrong. But when they do, it has everything to do with their chat presence. They have a way of just engaging with people. They know streaming culture. I have never had to pull Wicked or Mr. Anonymous to the side and be like, yo, do me a favor, whenever somebody comes into the chat, make sure you say hi to them. They know that already. So when I met them, when we did the Hood release for Saints Row, and I knew I needed moderators, because, when you do Hood release, you get people that are like, oh no, I'm about to report you. Or, oh, what are you doing this? Or, just saying stupid shit that, growing up in New York, you kind of get a tough skin, but this sometimes shit, bothers you. They know how to handle my chat. They know that if I'm quiet, they keep people talking. That is just as important as any game you're playing, as any fucking giveaway or whatever you're doing. If the chat ain't rolling, then what's the point? What's the point of live streaming? You might as well just record and release the video. Is one thing that I'm trying to help King Urameshi with a lot. When you guys see me in his stream, I keep him engaged with the chat because he has the content, he has the talent, he has the streaming, presence. The only thing he's lacking in is just audience, not audience retention, but engaging with audience while playing. That's the one thing that in this hiatus I want to work with him a lot. With Simba's amazing. Simba just sometimes gets a little bit too much in his head and then can't find the next thing to do. Like I told him yesterday when we was on the phone, I'm like, oh, you finished Mario RPG, bro? Like, what are you doing next? He's like, I don't know, I'm gonna probably, do Nick, maybe pick up some fighting games. I'm like, why not just do the Nuzlocke that I'm doing? I haven't played it in a while, but I know you fucking love it. You love Pokemon. I already have an audience that already saw me play Pokemon NL. I know if you pick it up, you're gonna do something different and people are gonna love to watch it. Win the G out of all of us, it's just fucking amazing. I was talking about Win the other day with Simba. I'm like, yo, his work strategy for releasing videos. Win is releasing maybe like a video or two a day, plus shorts, plus community. Like that's my New Year's resolution. I don't like copying people, but the way he takes his YouTube channel serious, I admire that. That's what it is admiration. That's what I want to strive to be able to do. Yeah, Gary loves Pokemon anal. And we're gonna get back to it. It's just I think I said it on stream. I'm afraid of doing a route and then fucking the Teddy Ursa pops up and I just start bawling my eyes out on stream. That's the only reason we've taken a break on Pokemon now. During this hiatus, I want to. Lola took us to like this amazing Chinese restaurant yesterday. Oh my god, you guys! Like, I don't even know. We had like soup dumplings. We had General Tao chicken, General Tao or Tao, however you guys decide to pronounce it. I say Tao. Which I know is nothing special, but listen, when I walked in, they got there before me because this is right after we ended the stream. I had to take a shower. I was sweating. So I met them after. They was already sitting at the table. When I'm going in, and I see this plate of General Tao chicken pass by, and like my eyes follow it. I'm like, oh, I need to have some of that. And then I do this thing every time I go to a new restaurant where I ask the waiter, "What do you recommend?" Usually, if it's a good spot, they will actually recommend something. What do we do? What are we doing here? I would do this thing where I ask for a recommendation. If it's a good restaurant, they will actually recommend something. Usually, since I do this a lot, they'll usually recommend like the most easiest thing to make in the menu. They recommended this spicy beef and peppers kind of dish, bro. Extremely spicy, but it was so. I don't like peppers. I don't like peppers. Like even when I eat my halal food, like we talk about rice over chicken, over at the halal spot, I ask for no peppers and onions. But they did this thing where they kind of shredded the peppers and then sauteed it, where it was like the crunchiness didn't bother me. Because the thing with peppers and onions is I don't like when they're too soggy, and I don't like it when they're too crunchy. My mind goes to like, oh, I'm eating a plate of cockroaches. But it was just like the beef together with that, together with like the spiciness of the dish, man. All to say, in my hiatus is, I would like to do a DPG. This is why I admire DPG. DPG is not afraid to try new things. DPG once made a foodie video, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do foodie videos. Because I know you guys are asking. I know I have a top 5 things of what you guys are always asking me to do. One, you guys want more IRL stuff. You guys, game-wise, you guys are dying for me to play Grand Theft Auto 5. Trust me, I know it's coming. I have an idea of what I want to do. I know you guys want more stories, which that's coming too. It's going to be its own video series. I don't know if you guys ever seen Internet Historian. I'm trying to learn his version of animation, which is basically just putting shit in Photoshop and popping it around while telling a story. I already have topics on which I want to talk about. I have one: money, perseverance. I know you guys want video essays, and I know you guys want. I think a few of you guys want me to do foodie content, and I have an idea. All to say is, if I ever do a foodie content, that place is definitely like video 1, video 2. Like the only reason I'm not there now is because I got Spanish food right here. I got rice, beans, and chicken right here, right next to me right now. If not, I would have taken that drive to Fort Lee, which is like one stop away from the George Washington Bridge, to go get some more soup dumplings. I have this idea. It'll be me, Kenny, and Lola, and we'll probably call it Hit or Miss. That'll be the name of the video series, Hit or Miss, where each of us take a turn on recommending a place to go eat, record what, you know, whether it was a hit or miss. There's 3 of us. 2 hits means it's a hit. 2 misses means it's a miss. That idea came to me when Kenny, I believe it was Kenny, recommended this thing that popped up on our Instagram where it was like mac and cheese and tenders. Mac and cheese was okay. Tenders were fine. But the sauce was really good, but they didn't put enough of it. The video on Instagram is just like the mac and cheese and tenders just drenched with sauce. What we got was a little container of sauce. And that was fucked up. That was fucked up. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do that. How you do that? How you make really good sauce and not get more of it? I always told you guys how I live by this. We just passed it. It's like this Magic and what's it called? Magic and Gathering. That, you know, the card game. There's a shop by there, right? And it seems like they be playing D&D in there. I'm antisocial, but I'm not afraid to do shit. But it's a new town, you know, I'm from the Bronx, I'm not really from Jersey. I'm afraid to go in and be like, yo, can I play some D&D? Nice concept, maybe. That's why I'll be a majority vote instead of a singular opinion. Yeah. I know you guys want cooking streams too. No, not lies. I don't mind getting in front of a stage and singing karaoke or anything, but I don't know. It's like when it comes to nerd shit, it's like it's different. It's very different. Like in high school, I was never part of any cliques. I can hang out with anybody. I can assimilate. That's what it is. Assimilation? I believe that's what it's called. It's not inseminate, I know that. I can't do that. Assimilate, I believe is the word. Into any social gathering. But it's just something about Magic the Gathering and those dudes in there. And then I tried to see reviews of that place. Because I was looking at places to see if I could do a hood release which is closer to me, so I don't have to always go down to the city to, acquire an early copy of a game. If they sold video games there, I can just work something out. But even the reviews are like, yo, I one time went in to see if they had some Pokemon cards, and everybody just stopped and looked at me until I made my purchase, and then everybody went back to it was like, you ever seen those old westerns where the saloon is, everybody's having fun in the saloon, and then here comes in the cowboy, then everybody just is quiet and they all look. So I'm afraid of that, because then I'll be like, all right.
Hi, I'm Pete Davidson, and if you're like most people, you may be asking yourself, whoa, hey Pete, are you here to up my hydration game? And I'd be like, hey you, that's exactly right, with new Smart Water Alkaline with antioxidants.
I could never freaking...
And you'd be like, okay, cool, but there's no way there's a higher pH, right? And I'd be like, there actually is. And you'd be like, that's rad, I hope there's electrolytes for taste too. And I'd be like, you're not gonna believe this. Elevate how you hydrate, and keep it smart.
I'm gonna listen to commercials on the radio. Okay, all right, you guys, I'm home. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for riding with me. Turn on the lights so you guys can see my beautiful face. Let me catch up on the challenge and see what everybody was saying. I had some success with it on Twitch, but it's hard as fuck now that all the games come for early access. Yeah, it's kind of, but it also the formula for that has changed with DPG. I know why it hasn't worked for you or for King Meshi. Y'all will see the formula once I do it. Is the one with the vending machine tries to molest you. Collab streams with other creators. That's what I was gonna say. I'll say this last little tidbit before we drop out, because I'm already home and the Spanish food smells wonderful. 2 content creators. Hey Gary, you can stream Steam games, right? You ever thought about playing Vampire the Masquerade? I thought about it. I know that there's a huge lore with it. I just never... And yeah, I could stream Steam games. I've done that. What game have we played that is a Steam game? The Walking Dead is a Steam game. I'm not playing that on console. I just use an Xbox controller. But yeah, I could look into it. I'll look into it. During the hiatus. To all my fellow streamers, whether you have one person, 4 people, 15, 20, 100, 1,000, I've been everywhere. I've had anything. Don't go ahead and look at these big streamers and see the chat just flying by and like, God damn, I wish I had that. When those two talent companies, there's one thing that those two talent companies had in common when they came to me, trying to like have me sign to them. So they can not only take a bit of the money that they basically invest in me to take money from ad revenue and stuff like that. One of the things they promised me within said contract was, we will boost up your streaming numbers. So when you look at these content creators and you see them and their chat is flying because they have 150, 500, 2K, don't get me wrong, there are some creators who have earned that. But when I tell you there are even more creators where those numbers are inflated and they're not real, trust me when I tell you they're not real. So just enjoy what you're doing. Make sure you pay attention to your audience and what they want. When you're doing streaming, it's a job, it's a career, and the people that give you their time to watch you, that's your audience. That's the only people you owe stuff to. Exactly what Wicked said. Just be yourself. Don't try to emulate other streamers and enjoy the games you play. If you aren't enjoying yourself, then it shows. It does. It does. Thank you, Uncle Wicked. Thank you, Angie Bobanji, DPG, and whoever's lurking. I love you. I love you guys. And anybody who watches this after. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to see you guys probably tomorrow. After I close, I have to reconnect everything. I'm going to use the fact that I disconnected everything for yesterday's stream to do better wire management because it was looking crazy under my desk. Have a great night, you guys. Bye-bye. Love you.